Hey, thanks so much for downloading the episode. On the show today, I recap a little bit of our trip to Anaheim this last week with our daughter for nationals in the cheerleading world. Also, we talk a little bit about the Oscars, and Paula wants to know, can men and women be friends without the sex? So we talk a little bit about that, some Disney, Uglee, and awkward moments of the week. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie.
Come give your Aunt Jamie a kiss.
Paula.
If you do something dumb, that's not my fault.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. It is episode 349.
What happened? We're Sisters Who Podcast.
Yes, we are Sisters Who Podcast.
I thought you cut out. And I'm like, what the hell?
No, I'm waiting. Listen, every time I start saying it, you go, no. And then you're like, no, I'm going to say it. We are Sisters Who Podcast.
I need to get a label maker
sticky note
and put that on the top of my computer.
There you go. Then you'll remember.
And then it'll cover up my webcam so the government can't spy on
Paula,
me.
Big Brother is always looking, always
watching. What are they
watching.
going to see? Me without makeup?
I don't know. You know what? Mine's not covered right now either. So all they see is an exhausted woman. Just got back from Anaheim from a 5-day visit. We were there for our daughter's cheer nationals competition, the final competition of her senior year of ever. This was it.
How hard did you cry?
I didn't cry at all.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. I cried.
Are you on testosterone?
No. Well, I did cry, but not after the performance. So, we're not good travelers, obviously.
Oh, you guys flew. That's right.
Yeah. There were people who, part of her team, they drove from Sacramento to Anaheim, and you have to go over the Grapevine, which is a mountainous range, dumping you into the LA area, basically. And with the amazing amount of weather that we've been having in California the last couple of weeks, the Grapevine closed because there was so much snow. It was completely snowed in. There were people up there and they were trying to clear the road with the freeway. And it was just, they're like, it's closed indefinitely. We don't know when it's opening because the snow won't stop falling.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit going on right now with the weather.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that train that got stopped and they were stuck in there?
For 36 hours.
That's my worst nightmare.
Well, I did read a little bit more on it. They were going from Seattle to LA and they got stuck in Eugene, Oregon, which is a beautiful little town. But the town that was neighboring the tracks had no power. And there was enough snow surrounding the train that they couldn't detrain at all because they were in the middle of basically the forest. I've done that ride, by the way. I've been on that train. I went from Sacramento to Eugene, Oregon.
Why?
Because I went to visit a friend. My friend Dina lived there.
Oh, that's right.
So Dad bought me a ticket to come home from Oregon to Sacramento because, God forbid they fly me home. And so I'm on this train next to this old man the entire time. And I was so terrified. I didn't sleep the whole time and I never got up. I never ate. I never peed. Nothing. I was like a little catatonic person sitting.
Oh my God.
I never left. I was so afraid. Why was I so afraid? I don't know. But I was in a reclined seat and I was like, there's no steward or anything to say, so can I get you anything? It's not like that. You're literally on a train and you're just going. There were also 20 Japanese internationals who were visiting.
That'd be fun
on the train. I know. It was. They're like, oh my God, we're stuck in it. We're stuck on an American train in the middle of nowhere. We may die here.
Jeez.
Celebrate.
The lady that had the baby, she's like, I only brought 5 diapers.
Oh my God.
So
you know that. Oh, that's like saying you're on the rag and you have 1 tampon left.
Oh my God.
Can you even imagine?
That'd be my luck. I'd start my period.
Circling around. Okay. I had Daryl cut it out of last week's show, but I was very, very late starting my period this month. And I was very worried that I was going to be day-old bread. I thought for sure I was menopausal. It was over. We were on our way to the airport to go to Anaheim. And I said, you're not going to believe this, but I forgot to bring a tampon. And Daryl's like, what? And I said, yeah. He goes, what's going to happen? I go, well, don't worry. We're not going to, nothing bad will happen. I mean,
we're not going to explode.
Yeah, nothing, I'm not going to be swept away by a river of blood. There are tampon stores everywhere. And I am sure of you that there will be tampons in Anaheim. So fret not.
Well,
we're
when
all
you get
fine.
to the airport, just go to the little store and get a tampon.
I wasn't even on my period. I said, it's just precautionary. I go, listen, I'm probably day-old bred now. It doesn't even matter anyway. I'll never need a tampon again.
I already can tell I have a mustache.
Yeah. Okay. So we're at some store looking around. I hadn't started my period and walking around. I go, well, this is it. And he goes, what? I go, I'm an old lady now. My eggs have died. And this is where it comes to. I've become an old lady in Anaheim. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm not going to start my period. It's it. This is it. I'm like Laura Ingalls' mom when she thought she was pregnant, but really she was in menopause. That's me. And I said, don't worry. I will reserve my dresses to muumuus to hide my increasingly sagging, sad, lady body. And I don't know. I may just let it go and let the whiskers grow out of my chin. I've decided.
And get chest hair too.
Yeah, I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to be that... I'm going to be that Aunt Jamie, come give you Aunt Jamie a kiss. And I'm going to have the mustache.
And they're like, we don't want to. She has chest hair.
We don't want to. She's really round, Mom. And
she always holds us really close to her chest and it gets in my ear.
She smells like weird lotion. And she tickles my face. Yeah, that's going to be me.
Is that what happens? Your eggs die? Or do they just, they run out?
You just run out.
Oh,
it just runs out like a gumball machine.
Right.
It's over.
There's no more gumballs. Okay.
No, the gumballs are gone. And the ones that are left are stale and crumbly. And that's just all there is to it. And so anyway, I said, well, that's it. And he is literally ignoring me at this point. I said, why are you ignoring me? He goes, you are the most ridiculous person I've ever met in my life. You are not day-old bred and you aren't going to look like a hairy goat. Stop. And we're literally at Indiana Jones ride. And I'm saying all of this. He's like, I've had it. I have had it. I go, why? I am not your young child bride any longer. I am an old lady. And he's like, stop it.
Oh my God.
So I did start my period.
Oh, okay. So you're not day-old bred.
I am not day-old bred. So I came out of the bathroom. I said, well, I started my period and I am not day-old bred. And he's like, good. And I said, aren't you glad that I could have a baby if I wanted to? He's like, sure, Jamie, sure. Like, I don't know. And I felt suddenly young again. And of course, though, I said, well, hell is coming with it because I am now way late and I don't skip periods. And so that's why I was so worried. But I have started my period late and this thing is going to kill me. I am hemorrhaging out. Oh, my God. It's like, it's been brutal. Wow. It has been brutal. So, I'm exhausted, I'm anemic, and I'm like, now I'm going to complain that I'm having a bad period because I thought for sure they were over.
So the only symptoms you would have had is irregular periods. Because there's symptoms for menopause. It says in the months or years leading up to menopause, you might experience these signs and symptoms. Okay. Irregular periods, vaginal dryness, hot flashes, chills, night sweats.
I'm always cold.
That's not the chills.
Okay, go on.
Night sweats.
No.
Sleep problems.
Yes.
Mood changes.
Well, that's not fair because I don't know. I'm always moody.
I wouldn't know because I take enough medication to where I don't have a mood.
Yes, exactly.
Weight gain and slowed metabolism.
No.
Thinning hair and dry skin.
No.
Loss of breast fullness.
Well, no.
You know what? As
I'm
I
looking
read
forward
this
to that.
list, I have most of these symptoms. Maybe
you're the day-old bred.
And they say it can happen starting at age 40.
Paula, here's the problem. The long lineage of women on our side of our mother's side of the family, they all had hysterectomies at 30. We have no concept of when menopause is supposed to be here. I don't know when menopause hits. I told Mama, I go, Mom, am I in menopause? She's like, Jamie Lynn, no. And I said, how do you know? What do you know? You have no idea. She goes, well, I have my ovaries. I'm like, okay, so when did you stop ovarying? When did that happen? She's like, well, I don't remember. I'm like, well, thanks for all the help, Ma.
I think Mom was like in her late 50s. No, I'm sorry. Her late 40s, early 50s.
Oh, no, she wasn't that young. No.
You don't think
She
so?
started going insane like late 50s, early 60s.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. She was very spry. She still is, but you know what I mean.
Right, I gotcha.
She didn't start turning into a grandma kind of person until way late, like probably the last decade or so.
Mom has been the oldest person I know since I was young.
Well, she's waiting for death. Hun. We all know this. She's just waiting to die.
Even when I see pictures of her, like when she was in her 30s, she still looked like she was in her 50s. It's those damn haircuts that she used to get.
I know. She really did fry her hair, but it looks good now. It's pretty healthy now. I'm like, Mom, you should just do what Martha Stewart does. You look just like her. Just do Martha Stewart and you'll look great. You know, when I was in my 20s and she was, scoffing at my baby purses and my long hair, that I'm a mother now. It should be short and, smart.
I remember when Stephanie, Joel, and Lauren got those family portraits, and Stephanie had like that brown bob that was permed, and she had bangs, and she was wearing like this lipstick, and she was smiling and had her hand on Joel's shoulder, and she's like, "Oh my God!" Because Stephanie's always been like the bleach blonde, straight fried hair.
Yeah, she's a rock and roll chick.
She looked like the lead singer of Warrant's twin.
I know. She looked like she could be the lead singer of Warrant. Okay. Well, we'll talk more about the Disneyland part of it, but the travel part was, I forgot feminine hygiene products, but luckily the front desk of the hotel was glad to supply me some at midnight because no stores are open after 10 p.m. At Disneyland, shockingly. So I was able to they're very nice there. And luckily, and they're like, oh, sure, we have some emergency supplies. I'm like, okay, thank you so much. Because the store there closed at 10. And it was one of those situations where they were in there and they were like straightening things out. And I knock on the glass. I'm like, excuse me, is there any way you can let me buy something? And they're like, sorry, we're closed. I'm like, damn it. So I had to go around and get something.
I would have sent Daryl.
Well, someone else in our party started their period during this trip. So he was the heroic dad and went downstairs at 7 a.m. and purchased a box for the person, not me, and placed it in front of her door and said, they're there. Get them before the coffee's delivered so you're not embarrassed.
Oh, did she have her own room?
We did get our own room for the second half of our trip because she brought a friend with her, and her friend's mom had a significant points for Disneyland, and so they were able to pay for half of a second room.
Oh, that's cool.
So, oh my God, it was the best thing ever. Who can afford 2 rooms at Disneyland Hotel? It's crazy.
Nobody.
No. And so we split the room. We're like, this was literally the best investment of money and time we ever did, was getting another room for the children. It was amazing.
Yeah, well, they're old enough now.
Yeah, it was a treat. Well, just because they're old enough doesn't mean we can afford it. But because another family was like, oh, yeah, we'll totally pay for half the room. I'm like, oh, my God, yes, sold. So we did it. So then the cheer competition came, and, Malia's the only senior on this comp team.
Oh.
And her coach was really, really hopeful that they were going to make it to the second day of competition. And it just depends on how many teams they decide to take to finals. So these aren't necessarily prelims, but you only there's placement. And with the amount of teams, there were six places.
Okay.
And they were only taking 4 to the next level of competition.
Okay.
And so based on everything we saw and their performance, we thought it was a lock. We thought for sure if they were gonna get in, it was gonna be by a cunt hair. They were gonna get in. And so, but we thought they had it. And they lost by a half a point. And so they came in 5th.
Are you kidding me?
No, just like last year, half a point.
Bullshit.
Well, our coach actually did a formal protest because they judged us. They judged us on some things they said we didn't do, but there's actually proof that we did do them. Mm-hmm. And so they did award us some points. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough because a lot of teams protested because the judging was a little off this year. And so even with that, everybody still kind of stayed in their thing. So we got a really big trophy because we came in 5th. And that was really good considering that we had a couple of girls have some errors that were not necessarily difficult errors. They were like rookie moves, essentially.
Yeah.
They let the nerves get to them, essentially. And so when the performance ended, I didn't cry because I was really mad.
Oh, because you saw that they made some mistakes.
And it was somebody specifically that is notoriously someone who makes mistakes. And I actually talked to her before and I said, don't make that mistake. And she made the mistake.
Well, that sucks. Well, why did they let her compete then?
Well, I don't know. They may not next year. Just depends. But it's not my problem anymore.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, it's not my problem anymore. So, but with all that being said and done, there was a lot of anger initially because they knew that they were better than the performance that they put out. But the fact is they placed and they beat someone they thought for sure was going to the finals, and they didn't. They actually beat that team as well. And so Malia being the only senior, of course, I'm the only one that's invested in moving on to another level of competition. Everybody else is like, oh, well, we'll do it next year.
Yeah, and Malia's like, yeah, you assholes will. I won't.
Yeah, but that's okay. Malia has a really good attitude about it. She's so much more mature, obviously. So this was kind of a water off a duck's back, you know. And plus her friend came to support her. And, you know, the really great thing about nationals is that they always have it at locations where if you don't do well, the silver lining is you get to go to Disneyland the next day.
Yeah.
So fifth is nothing to scoff at, by the way. I mean, they placed at nationals, which is a huge thing. They just wanted more.
I'm just so goddamn competitive that
Paula, that's why I would
be so pissed off.
One of the moms goes, "Oh, are you crying? Are you sad about it?" I'm like, "Nope, not at all." I was really mad because I'm like, "You motherfuckers, you messed this up." I'm like, I couldn't be a coach. I would have torn them up a new asshole and it would not have been fair. But it's like, I'm with you. I was furious afterwards, but I got over it. But I did have to have some cocktails and I had to vent a bit with Daryl. And I said, look, I know I'm only going to vent and say really terrible shit about children to you. And then I'm moving on from this. He's like, yeah, I get it. I'm like, okay. So anyway, this girl. Mm-hmm. So, but it's really fun and it really feels great to be surrounded by all those cheerleaders and all the teams, and it's a really cool environment. A lot of bitchy girls, which I love, you know. So
right. Well,
it was fun though.
Good.
It really was. Yeah, it was great. And so then we went to Disneyland and they had their little team day where they all got together, and it ended on a really high note. Everybody kind of, you know, you make amends and everybody's kind of on a good page again, and you know, you move on. And you know, for Malia, it's like, this is great and everything. And now her head coach has asked her to come and coach next year.
Oh,
so she's going to do that, and that's kind of a bonus because if she gets to assist with comp, then she'll get to go back and watch.
That's good.
And be a part of it. And I've asked some of the other coaches that are there, I'm like, because they all cheered at some point in their life. Mm-hmm. And I said, so do you miss cheering? They're like, oh my God, every day. And I said, oh, really? They're like, yes, I would do it immediately if I could. But most of them are super injured. And, you know, they're in their 20s now. They can't really cheer anymore. But they're like, yeah, coaching helps a little, but you really miss it. So anyway, I will talk more about the Disneyland portion of our trip next on Sunday's show. I'll give you a little bit of, because there's just so much. There's so much to unpack. Of course, you know, me and my judgy ass throughout the entire weekend. I just can't help but judge others.
Well, you were on the rag, so.
There's the PMS and then there's the super PMS. I was on super PMS.
I think I'm on super PMS. Like I am on PMS motorcycle, like hell on wheels kind of PMS.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can always tell when I am because Daryl will go, wow, really? Mm-hmm. Wow, Jamie. And I'm like, what? You know what? And I always like threaten him with the truth. You know what you were getting into. You knew what kind of person I was. And he's like, my God.
Victor always accuses me of trying to pick fights. And I'm like, why would I want to pick a fight with you? You know, if you
it's not even a fair fight.
If you do something dumb, that's not my fault.
Yeah, it's like, it's not my fault you don't know how to think.
And if I, you know, disagree, that's not picking a fight.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I knew that it was coming because first of all, you know, I love cute little kids, but you do get your fill at Disneyland. Like there's so many, and there were so many newborns, Paula.
That's the thing is like, I do love seeing babies. I really do.
Me
Like at the
too.
grocery store, it's really cute when they're in their little car seat and stuff.
Yes.
But when we went to Disneyland ourselves and I saw all these tiny little babies with their parents at Disneyland, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
You're
I'm
giving
get
you're
that
making
child
it so hard.
home.
Well, and you're just making it so hard. Like we were leaving for the evening, the first night. We were leaving. It was like 10:30 at night, and some people were showing up to close out the park, and they had like a 5-month-old crying with their stroller, like they're going to bundle up this baby in the stroller and go until midnight. I'm like, why would you do that to a small baby?
I'm like, this child hasn't even discovered its hand yet. Do you think it's going to know the difference of anything else?
They just didn't. Nobody wanted to stay home and let the baby sleep. They wanted to all close the park out, and so God forbid, someone sacrificed for the small human being.
But I mean, they're always like, oh, first trip to Disneyland. You see those pictures and everything, and like they're holding up the raisin in the blanket, and I'm just like, why are you doing
raisin.
that?
Well,
like,
and here's
thing is, still have his umbilical cord attached.
I told Daryl, I said, you want to know, because at some point in the day, the face of the parents where they've worn the wrong type of shoe and they are exhausted and they're like walking around like zombies. Even the children are unhappy and they're walking through the park. And I said, that is the look of, we aren't going anywhere. We spent $3,000 to be here. We're going to be here. We are not leaving. That's what that face is.
My favorite one is like, it's either the grandma or someone, and they're sitting on the bench and they're just staring off into space,
Good. Where did I go wrong?
They're just waiting.
Why did I say I wanted to be here?
They're just like, no, you guys go. I'll just sit here and wait for you. And then they're sitting there and their mouth is kind of open and they're just staring.
They're like, I could be at home with my dog right now.
And you don't know if they're just thinking or if they're just like trying to catch their breath or their mind or, what it is. But
it's true, man. There was a lot of that. So I'll tell you more about Disneyland on Sunday show, but really quick. So the last night we were there, the last full night we were there, the Oscars were happening.
Oh, that's right. Oh, so that makes sense. I thought you were at home for some reason, but you weren't saying anything. So I'm like, she must be on an airplane or.
I was in Disneyland during the actual Oscars.
You suck.
I know. I'm so sorry. I will say this. I did watch the video of Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper sing. And I did see a couple of the acceptance speeches and just a couple of the introductions. I missed, Julia Roberts and all that other garbage. I didn't see any of that. And I know we were going to talk about it, but I didn't. There was just no way. And so I was literally reading on Twitter who was winning and what was going on. And if anything significant occurred, and everybody was freaking out about Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper practically having sex on the stage in front of Irina.
Yeah.
Or whatever her name is.
I don't know.
You're inappropriate.
Well, it's only because it's just, I don't know, Jamie. You watched it, but I mean...
I did.
Maybe I was watching it under a microscope, but I just can't get out of my head. If that was my man, I would be so fucking pissed. This is your... I know this is their last time.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they were just going to live it up and get it... do it the way they wanted to do it or what.
From what I understood, this is what I read about first of all, Bradley Cooper has made no comment about anything. And when Lady Gaga was quoted about she was saying something about how she had a boyfriend who said no one's going to know who you are or something like that. And whatever. And then she said, she didn't even mention his name. She said, I just want to thank the people. I want to thank the two men who wrote this with me and the gentleman who performed it with me. That's all she said. And then Bradley Cooper made no party appearances. He literally left the award show and never came back.
Well, when she accepted her speech, she said Bradley.
Oh, no, I know. I meant afterward. I meant when there was other comments.
Oh, when they were in in the press room or something like that.
She kept it uber professional. I also read that the way they decided to do this performance was they wanted to make it ridiculously dramatic. And so that was all planned. They wanted to basically reenact the characters, and that's why they got so intimate. But it was very clear to me, first of all, she's so good, Paula. She's so talented.
Her voice is incredible.
Oh my God. And watching her play that piano,
I know.
was like, God,
I'm like, she
damn,
can
that
sing
woman.
and play at the same time. I'm like, I can't do anything.
I can barely wash the dishes and talk.
I can barely sing and wash my hair at the same time.
Right? I can't sing and wash my hair. I would get water in my mouth and start coughing. I couldn't do it.
It doesn't work. And especially sitting. That's even harder.
I know, with the diaphragm. Same with Alicia Keys. Those two women are crazy. They're so good. Anyway, so I watched it. I did scrutinize it. I didn't think it was as sexual as people were saying, but I definitely felt the intimacy.
That was what it was.
This is what I think. And, you know, I mean, I've been around enough. I've been in those relationships where you have to keep it on the DL. Mm-hmm. I think this was their goodbye, if that makes any sense at all. If there was anything going on, this was their way to leave it out on the stage, and that was going to be the end of it. And I think that baby mama knows that something went down, and that's why this thing is over. It is over.
Yeah. Well, he brought his mom and the baby mama, and what was weird is they had Lady Gaga sitting next to the baby mama.
Yes, they did. And that was all on purpose.
Strange.
It was on purpose.
Everyone's just like, oh, she was all smiles. I'm like, she looked extraordinarily uncomfortable.
She was hyper focusing on everything going on stage.
She was trying to get through the night.
Yes.
Trust me,
she was.
It looked like she was like clawing at the...
And can I say that, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Bradley Cooper's mom was sitting next to her on the other side.
She was sitting to the right of Bradley Cooper.
Oh, so it was mom, Bradley Cooper, baby mama, and then Gaga?
Yeah.
Okay, because there was an older woman sitting next to her on the other side. Maybe it was her mother or something.
No, she didn't bring anyone.
Oh, so she was just sitting next to some woman?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, because I think because she just recently broke off her engagement.
That thing has been over for months, and you and I both know it.
Oh, that would...
Please.
I don't even know
that
if she was engaged
over.
to that guy.
That thing ended when she could not stop obsessing over Bradley Cooper and her dicking.
I don't blame him. I mean, if he had any self-respect... But same thing with the baby mama. I'd be like, if she has any self-respect, I don't care if he's Bradley Cooper or not. I'd kick his ass to the curb.
But she has the baby. And Bradley Cooper's mother loves her.
That's true.
He has no choice but to straighten up. I told you.
That's her grandbaby.
I told you that woman said, Bradley, you get your dick out of that crazy girl and get your head on right. Enough of this. It was a movie. Enough.
Yeah.
Straighten up.
When you have chemistry with someone, sometimes it's undeniable. And I mean, they were doing kissing and love scenes all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. It was undeniable. They absolutely had a connection, no doubt about it. But listen, we've been watching movies for a very long time, and there are a lot of actors and actresses who have amazing chemistry. Amazing chemistry, but they don't take it off the stage. Okay? They move on with their lives and either keep it secret or just end it when the movie ends, for God's sake.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear her album.
Her next album.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Cannot wait. It's going to be a fun one to listen to.
Oh, jeez.
I have a hard time with it because I like her so much, but I think they just got caught up. And I'm with you. I don't think you can't really hide the obvious elephant in the room anymore. Well,
I mean, it's just like any job. If you work in an office and you and a coworker are totally screwing or have a thing for each other, you think you're doing a good job of hiding it. Everybody knows.
It's real obvious. And she got no poker face.
I know, right?
Can't read my poker face bullshit, honey.
I'm just like,
you are all out there.
You've never needed a poker face, and when you did, you didn't have one.
I can't really articulate it, but I really understand what went down. I get it. I really do. And I'm glad that it's over. I think he needs to move on.
Sometimes wild horses cannot keep you back.
That is correct. And it was and you're right, though. It definitely felt more than just a performance. More than just a performance.
Yeah.
Someone even said that. They're like, this is their final performance. I'm like, finally, God. We've been stretching out this faux love affair for weeks. It's over.
Yeah.
Enough.
I mean, it was inappropriate, but putting in perspective that it was their last performance, like their last final love affair, it is a bit heartbreaking, I guess. Because
I don't know. If I was the baby mom, I'd be like, bye ho.
Yeah, but I mean,
you know,
what they shared. Because when I was, God, what was I, 24 or 25? I was leaving this job. And for like 6 months, I had been having an affair with this guy that worked there.
Right.
And so the understanding is that when I left the job, you know,
it was over.
Things were done. And so, you know, my last day came and went, and I started this other new job. And like the first couple of days, it really sucked because, you know, I was new. I didn't know anybody. And I really started to miss him, and I didn't think I would, but I couldn't call him or anything like that. So it was just kind of like devastating because, you know, and I couldn't talk to anybody about it. And so,
right, because it was inappropriate.
Totally. So,
well, I think Lady Gaga will be fine, and Bradley Cooper will.
I don't know what he's gonna do.
Well, he's very talented. I mean, he's a very good actor, you know, and really. Everybody's like, how did he be, you know, how he went from, you know, Hollywood's golden boy to The Biggest Loser in Hollywood. And I'm like, really? He was nominated for like 4 Oscars. That's not being a loser. That's huge. That's great recognition.
I think he's going to focus on his directing. He was pretty...
I think he should. He was really gung-ho about it.
He was pretty miffed that he didn't get nominated for Best Director.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know how they pick or what they do. I mean, obviously, we're choosing some very specific themes right now in the Oscar world, and that's fine. Yes. So I don't really know how that all goes down, but whatever. You know, he'll just like Ben Affleck, you know, he'll get his recognition some way. And you know, to be perfectly honest, A Star Is Born, I don't even think that's an A-list movie. I'm pretty sure it's like B-lister. Well, Sam Elliott was the biggest star.
Oh, God, well, besides Bradley Cooper. And he didn't win dick.
I know, but he did get nominated, which was nice.
He's just nice to look at wherever he is.
Yeah, he's a good-looking dude. And Bradley Cooper, well, you know how I feel about him. I mean, he's a cutie pie.
Yeah,
So what's this with Harry Met Sally? What is the situation? Okay. Why am I talking about this?
So when Harry Met Sally, it's a movie. Yeah. And the movie starts out basically with the question, can men and women be friends without sex coming up? And there's people who say like, yes, definitely they can be friends, and you know, without sex coming into the equation. And then so I think that was Sally's answer.
She said men and women can be friends,
right, without the sex coming up.
Right.
And Harry's just like, there's no way men and women can be friends without the sex coming up. You have to do it and get it out of the way, and then they can be friends.
Oh, no. He wasn't saying that because kind of, because she's like, well, what if we don't have what if I don't want to have sex with him? He goes, oh, well, they're having sex with you in your mind. She's like, they're having sex with me without my knowledge. He's like, well, in their mind they are. So, and I actually agree with him.
Well, right. I think they probably were already having sex with you before you even became friends.
I don't even know. I don't have too many men friends who are gay, but I would think that when you are with someone of the opposite sex, the thought crosses your mind. Like, I wonder what it would be like if we had to have sex. Like, I don't mean gay men. I just mean any man.
Any man.
I
think any man, they automatically just size it up.
Yeah. I think they were just curious, like, yeah, I bet that would be fun. But anyway, she's my best friend's wife, so no.
But I'm not talking about acquaintances. I'm talking about like genuine friends.
Like your BFF.
Maybe a BFF, or maybe like, you know, a good friend that, you know, if you guys hang out and they come over for like, you know, UFC parties, they're not related to you, and you sit there and talk the whole time, and then, you know, I don't know, you message on Facebook and you know, all this stuff. And I guess you'd have to assume they're not married because that would be inappropriate. But
right.
I'm just wondering if you become close with someone, but
sex is not on the table necessarily.
Right. Do you think that you could just remain that way, or do you think it's going to come up at some point that you should be dating?
No, not necessarily. There are people that I was friends with that I had zero zero attraction to. But I was friends with them.
See, I'm trying to think, like, most of the male friends that I've had, I was not attracted to them, but they were very persistent. But we were good friends. But at some point or another, they became very persistent about their desire to take me out or have sex with me.
Well, I just think that if men think there's an opportunity, they'll take it. And they'll at least give it the old try.
I don't understand that.
That's just how men are wired. I think they're just wired that way. They see, if a woman finds them attractive and she's available and they are too, why not? I already like you. So I do, but I do agree that men and women can't be friends without the sex coming into it. For sure. For sure. I've never met two people who are friends that are both attracted to this, they're both heterosexual and they're men and women who are friends that doesn't come up.
Can you be friends with a man without thinking about having sex with him?
Well, yeah, because I'm a woman, but men aren't that way. Men are different, I think, in that respect. They can say, but they're lying, I think. Because if you said, you know what, I'm not seeing anyone right now, I haven't had sex in 6 months, you're my friend, let's do it. They'd be like, I'll be right there. They would not say no.
But don't you think that would make things weird?
Yes, but it depends on how bad you want to have sex.
No, that would ruin a friendship.
Well, Paula, you're talking to someone who agrees with you, so I don't really know. I don't really know. But anyway. All right, well, we're running out of time, and so we're not going to be able to talk about your teenager attitude, but we'll talk about that next week.
He's horrible.
I know he is. Yeah, he should be thanking you when he turns 15. He should be a thank you, mother, for not killing me or sending me to the orphanage.
I'm just really worried about him is all.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about Disneyland and your teenager who is in teenage hormone hell, and all in our ugly and awkward moments. But I do have some ugly and awkward moments that I wanted to share with you. These are Disney related.
Okay.
So, ugly and awkward moments of the week, the Disney edition. So the first one, this happened in Disney Orlando in Florida. It says, during my last visit, my husband and I spent the evening at downtown Disney. We were staying at Port Orleans French Quarter, so we were catching a ferry boat back to the resort. We were standing in line waiting our turn, and I was leaning up against the fence facing the water. I started to push my knee through the fence slats. I don't know why. Boredom? The ferry boat pulls up and begins to load. That's when I realized my knee is stuck.
What?
My husband tells me to come along. I tried to pretend nothing was wrong. I tried to let the people waiting behind me go past me, but that just drew more attention to me. I had to admit I was, in fact, a grown woman with her knee stuck in between the slats of the fence by the ferry. So with a bit of pushing and help, I had a big bruise and I was freed and allowed to go on the boat.
Oh my God.
Don't you know how you can kind of separate your kneecap a little bit when you put it into like a narrow area and you kind of push it in? Well, she did. That's what she did. And it's like getting your head stuck in between two, things.
God, there's countless videos of children doing that where the fire department has to come out.
She did it with her knee. Can you imagine her going, wait, oh, God. No,
knowing me, I would have just ripped my leg out and probably dislocated my knee.
She probably tried, knowing her.
Because I get nervous. I'm like, ah!
Yeah, you panic. You start panicking one time. And this is so painful. Most people have experienced this. I slammed my finger in the door once when we were going to pizza when I was a kid. And I slammed I slammed my finger in the car door. And the first instinct is to pull.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember pulling, going, I'm going to rip my finger off. And I'm like, why did I just open the door? Stupid.
Because we're not that smart sometimes.
We are dumb. Children are so dumb. Okay, here's another one. This one's really funny. It says, I accidentally punched Goofy in the face.
Okay.
I was standing beside him as the photographers were setting up, and I did a fist pump in the air move to show my partner how happy I was. Just as I shot my hand into the air, Goofy saw the photographers were ready and moved in close for the shot. My right fist caught his snout hard. Goofy, being Goofy, did the comical spin and held his head as if Mike Tyson had just connected with him. The handler didn't quite see me being all excited before the hit, only saw me uppercutting Goofy. She started to walk towards me and say, "You're barred," like you're banned.
Right.
Meanwhile, Goofy stopped her and wordlessly calmed her down like a mime on a mission. All the while, I was apologizing.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine turning to your husband or wife going, "Yeah!" and doing the fist pump in the air and smacking the character right in the face?
No, I don't get that excited about Disney characters.
We were leaving the Winnie the Pooh ride, which is hilarious. Daryl and I have to go on this dumb little ride. It's not dumb.
Pooh ride.
It's such a fun little ride. Anyway, so we're walking away. Well, it's the area where the little Winnie the Pooh characters will come out to say hello to people.
Uh-huh.
And we were walking, and apparently Tigger was following us and we didn't know.
Uh-huh.
And these little cheerleaders saw him and they started screaming bloody murder.
Oh my God.
And I turned, I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around and they're just all excited because they're like, oh my God, it's Tigger. And I'm like, oh, shut up. Jeez, it's not real.
Well,
Dumb.
we did the same thing. We had the little autograph books, and we were trying to get all the characters to sign our autograph, except for Jack Sparrow. We were in line for a while, and then we watched him, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, he's kind of a gigolo. I'm like, let's get out of here. I don't want Olivia taking a picture with him.
Ugh.
Because there was all these, big busty girls with tiny shorts, taking their picture with him. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And I'm just like, yeah, well, this guy's a douche. Let's get out of here.
I don't want to have anything to do with this sparrow
I'm
thing.
like, he's gross. So
Anyway, so yeah, those are those. And all right. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today, Paula.
We have 2 more things just quickly.
Yes.
Did you see Casey Musgraves sing Como La Flor?
Yes, I retweeted it. I love her.
Oh, you
so
did?
bad.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure you saw it.
I was like, anything for Selena. I was so
I couldn't
happy.
believe she's saying. I'm like, that is so bizarre.
It was at the Houston Astrodome, and that
Yeah.
was the last place that Selena performed before she was tragically and brutally murdered.
I know.
And so she did it as an homage to her. Homage. And I mean, the crowd was singing it. It
know.
was so amazing. I said, God, see, everybody loves Selena. She's
Everybody
the best.
does.
She's the best. So anyway, I did see that, and I'm just so excited that everyone knows who Casey Musgraves is now. She's just so wonderful.
Well, she had won
love
that
her.
huge award at the Grammys. So
It's she deserves literally everything she gets. I'm so happy for her, and she looked amazing. She was at the Oscars wearing that big pink thing.
I thought the pink fluffy thing around her face and neck was a little much.
You know what, though? It photographed well. I saw her in photos, so it looked really pretty. But I think overall it was a lot. But she's so, now she's so glamorous. So she was wearing a lot of couture. And I'm like, whatever, man. That's the only time you can actually do it. So why not?
Yeah, I don't think I could handle all that stuff around my face. But
yeah.
And then there was I forget the guy's name who wore the tuxedo ball gown on the red carpet.
Billy Porter.
Something Porter. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I know that it's uncomfortable to see, but I thought he looked amazing. And I was looking at it going, why has any woman ever done that?
It's a good idea.
Tuxedo top with a ball gown and that gorgeous black. I loved it. And it was very,
material.
I think, yeah. And I think, just like with art, fashion is supposed to elicit a reaction on those types of occasions, where it's the Met Gala or the Oscars or something like that. So I'm all about it. I loved it. And it was Christian Siriano, and I love him so bad.
Yeah, really. So
Yes.
Anyway, second,
Yes.
are you guys getting the UFC fight this Saturday?
I asked Daryl if he wanted to get it. I want to get it. If we get it, you're getting a call.
Okay, well, just let us know, because
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
because we want to come down. It's a big fight. So
I know.
well, actually, it's got a lot of big fights. So
Yes, I'm excited about that one.
yeah, me too. So okay, well then, business is taken care of, and
Yes.
so we will close. Thanks everybody for joining us. We do have ugly and awkward moments, but we'd like to hear yours as well. So please keep sending them in. If anything exciting has happened to you where you were awkward, maybe it was Valentine's Day, or Easter's coming up. Maybe something awkward happened at Easter, or just, random awkwardness.
Yes.
Send them in to us. You can go to Facebook, or is that where you want them to send them to? Or
They can. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
okay, good.
Or our website, uglytruth.com. We actually have a little submission area where you can send us pretty much any message you want.
Perfect.
Oh, and we have to do a little carnival because I had a listener reach out to me wanting to know my opinion on Cody's hair. And we are absolutely going to do some little carnival episodes. We have quite a few coming up, so we will be doing that.
I'm 2 episodes behind on Sister Wives, which is basically like 4 hours. I don't even know if I can watch all that.
Yeah, well, we've got that, and then I have some very strong opinions about some other shows that are being shown on the little carnival channel.
Which ones?
Well, I've been watching the Duggars Children.
No, you're not.
Well, we will talk about all of this on the little carnival. Those episodes will be coming up. Anyway,
yeah,
go on.
I think that's it for today, friends. Please visit our uglytruth.com page and click on the Amazon button. And then also go to lipandclip.com and switch your makeup over to the pastels, because it is going to be sunny. I swear, one day there will be no more snow and rain. There will be sun, unless we're going to be like that movie Tomorrow Never Ends, or whatever it's called, and everyone freezes to death unless you live in the library. But
oh my God.
So we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.